Hello friends, I am Nivrati Jain, Assistant Professor at Department of Pharmaceutical Science, Edina Institute of Pharmaceutical Science, Sagar. Today, we are going to learn about antidepressant and anti-manic drugs for B Pharma 5th semester, Pharmacology 1, scripted by Dr. Vishal Jain, Assistant Professor, Pandit Ravi Shankar, Shukla University, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and me. So let's have a general introduction about depression, and we are going to learn in this informative episode. We will start this lecture with a general introduction of depression, then classification of antidepressant. After that, we will discuss about pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic, adverse effect of antidepressant drugs. And at last, before ending the lecture, I will discuss about antimanic drugs and their pharmacology. So let's start our today's lecture, module 1. Introduction. Depression is a state of low mood and aversion to activity that can affect a person's thought, behavior, feelings and physical well-being. Major depression and mania are two extremes of affect disorder which refer to pathological change in mood state. Depression is the most common of the affective disorders. It may ranges from a very mild condition bordering on normality to severe depression accompanied by hallucination and delusions. The symptoms of depression include emotional and biological components. Emotional symptoms like misery, apathy and pessimism, low self-esteem, feeling of guilt, inadequacy and ugliness, indecisiveness, loss of motivation, and the biological symptoms include retardation of thoughts and action, loss of libido, sleep disturbance and loss of appetite. There are two distinct types of depressive symptoms. First, unipolar depression, in which the mood swings are always in the same direction, and second is bipolar depression, in which depression alternates with mania. Now the pathophysiology of depression. A number of neuromodulators have been reported to be involved in the pathophysiology of depression. The main biochemical theory of depression is decreased monoaminergic neurotransmission, which states that depression is caused by a functional deficit of monoamines like norepinephrine, serotonin and dopamine at certain sites in brain. Now the second module, that is classification of antidepressants. It involves 5 categories. First category is reversible inhibitor of MAO-A. It includes moclobemide and chlorgyline. Second category is tricyclic antidepressants. It is further divided into 2 categories. First is Na and 5-HT reuptake inhibitors. It includes imipramine, amitriptyline, trimipramine, doxepin, dothepin and clomipramine. And the second is predominantly Na reuptake inhibitors. It includes desipramine and nortriptyline, amoxapine and reboxetine. Third category is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. It includes fluoxetine, fluvoxamine, paroxetine, sertraline, citalopram, escitalopram and depoxetine. Now the next category, that is serotonin and noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors. It includes venlafaxine and duloxetine. Now the last category, that is atypical antidepressant. It includes trazodone, mianserin, mirtazapine, bupropion, tianeptine and amineptine, atomoxetine. Module 3rd, pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, adverse effect and interaction of antidepressants. First of all, tricyclic antidepressant. Tricyclic antidepressant inhibited noradrenaline and 5-HT reuptake into neurons. In addition to uptake, blockades have direct effect on adrenergic, cholinergic and histaminergic receptor and are referred to as first generation antidepressant. Now the pharmacokinetics, the oral absorption of TCA or tricyclic antidepressant is good though often slow. They are highly bound to plasma and tissue proteins, therefore have large volumes distribution about 20 liter per kg. The TCA share several pharmacokinetic features. Table 1. Pharmacokinetics of tricyclic antidepressants. Tricyclic antidepressant bioavailability include about 40 to 45%. Plasma T half-life was found between 9 to 46 hours. Active metabolites T half in R was found between 12 to 96 hours and the volume of distribution in liter per kg was found between 5 to 30 and protein binding in percentage was found between 84 to 97. Pharmacodynamics. First of all, pharmacological action on the CNS. Effects differ in normal individual and in the depressed. In normal individual, it induces apesicular, clumsy feelings, tiredness, light-headedness, sleepiness, difficulty in concentrating and thinking. In depressed patient, little acute effect are produced except sedation. After 2 to 3 weeks of continuous treatment, the mood is gradually elevated. Patient become more communicative and start taking interest in self and surrounding. Now the action on the ANS, that is autonomic nervous system. Most TCAs are potent anticholinergic, cause dry mouth, blurring of vision, constipation and urinary hesitancy as side effect. Now the effect on the cardiovascular system. Effect on cardiovascular function are prominent, occur at therapeutic concentration and may be endangered in overdose. It also causes tachycardia, postural hypotension, ECG changes and cardiac arrhythmia. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. The major limitation of tricyclic antidepressants are frequent anticholinergics, cardiovascular and neurological side effects, relatively low safety margin, lag time of 2 to 4 weeks before antidepressant action manifest. The other side effects of TCA are significant number of patients respond incompletely and some do not respond. To overcome these shortcomings, a large number of newer antidepressants have been developed since 1980s. The most significant of these are SSRIs and SNRIs, which selectively inhibit membrane-associated SERT or both SERT and NET. Now the pharmacokinetics. The antidepressant SSRIs share several pharmacokinetics features. Table 2. Pharmacokinetics of SSRIs, that is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. There are many selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors like citalopram, acetylopram, fluoxetine, fluvoxamine, paroxetine and sertraline. The bioavailability was found between 45 to 90%. Plasma T half in R was found between 14 to 72 hours and the active metabolite T half in R was found between 14 to 104 in R and the volume of distribution in liter per kg was found between 12 to 97 and the protein binding in percentage was found between 80 to 98%. Here ND is no data found. Now the next category, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, that is MAO inhibitors. MAO is a mitochondrial enzyme involved in the oxidative deamination of biogenic amines like adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine and 5-HT. Two isozymes form of MAO have been identified. First, MAO-A. MAO-A is preferentially deaminates 5-HT and noradrenaline and inhibited by chlorgyline and moclobemide. The second is MAO-B, preferentially deaminates phenylethylamine and is inhibited by selegiline. Non-selective MAO inhibitors. Non-selective MAO inhibitors is inhibited a number of other enzymes as well and interact with many food constituent and drugs. Cheese reaction. Certain varieties of cheese, beer, wine, pickled meat and fish yeast extract contain large quantity of tyramine, dopa, etc. Second, cold and cough remedies. They contain ephedrine or other sympathomimetics. Hypertensive reaction can occur. Next is rezapine, guanethidine, tricyclic antidepressants. Excitement, rise in BP and body temperature can occur when these drugs are given to a patient on MAO inhibitors. Fourth is levodopa. Excitement and hypertension occur due to increase in biological half-life of dopamine and noradrenaline that are produced from levodopa. Next is antiparkinsonian, anticholinergics, hallucination and atropine poisoning like symptom occur. Next is barbiturates, alcohol, opioid, antihistamines. Action of these drugs is intensified and prolonged. Respiration may fail. Now the pharmacokinetics. The antidepressant MAO inhibitors share several pharmacokinetic features. Table 3. Pharmacokinetics of MAO inhibitor. It includes selegiline, phenelgine and moclobemide. The percentage viability was found between 4 to 90%. The plasma T-half in R was found between 1 to 10 and the active metabolite T-half was found 9 to 11 in R. Volume of distribution in liter per kg was found between 0.3 to 10 and the percentage protein binding was found between 50 to 99%. Now the adverse effects of antidepressants. Side effects are common with TCAs because of which SSRI, SNRIs and atypical antidepressants have become the first line drugs. The first is physical symptom like headache, joint pain, muscle aches, nausea, skin rashes or diarrhea. Other side effects are sleep disturbance, sedation, mental confusion and weakness, especially with amitriptyline and more sedative congeners. The other side effects like migraine, headache and by anticholinergics, dry mouth, bad taste, constipation, epigastric distress, urinary retention, blood vision and palpitation. And some more side effect like increased appetite and weight gain is observed with most TCAs and trazodone also. Some patients receiving any antidepressant may abruptly switch over to a dysphoric agitated state. Others are sweating and find tremor and seizure threshold is lowered. Fits may be precipitated, especially in children. Postural hypotension, especially in older patients, and some other side effects like sexual distress, especially delay or interference with erection, ejaculation and occasionally with orgasm. Some other side effects like cardiac arrhythmia, especially in patients with ischemic heart disease, hypersensitivity are rare. Now the drug interaction with SSRI. When react with alcohol, the side effects are increased CNS sedation. When react with benzodiazepines, it shows increased sedation possible. Fluoxetine and paroxetine may reduce metabolism of some benzodiazepines. When react with warfarin, the possible side effects are increased INR and increased bleeding risk due to antiplatelet effects. When react with buspirone, possible side effects are serotonin syndrome and lowering of seizure threshold theoretically possible. When react with antiepileptics, possible side effects are SSRI may lower the seizure threshold, and when react with lithium, possible side effects are neurotoxic symptom and serotonin-like syndrome occasionally reported. Now the drug interaction with TCAs. When the TCA interact with SSRI, the possible side effects are increased plasma concentration of TCA causing increased adverse effect. When interact with alcohol, possible side effects are increased CNS depression and sedation. When react with antiarrhythmic drug like amiodarone, flecainide and quinidine, the possible side effects are increased risk of ventricular arrhythmia. When react with CNS depressant like benzodiazepine, antihistamines and antipsychotics, the possible side effects are increased CNS depression and sedation. When react with clonidine, the possible side effects are antihypertensive effect of clonidine are reduced or abolished, and when react with lithium, the possible side effects are neurotoxic symptom and serotonin like syndrome occasionally reported. Module 4, Antimanic drugs, pharmacological action and mechanism of action. Firstly, introduction. Mania is an abnormally elevated mental state typically characterized by feelings of euphoria, lack of inhibition, racing thoughts, diminished need for sleep, talkativeness, risk taking, and irritability. In extreme cases, mania can induce hallucination and other psychotic symptoms. The common symptoms of mania include varying degree of the following like elevated mood, increased energy and overactivity. The other symptoms are reduced need for sleep, irritability, rapid thinking and speech, recklessness, grandiose plan and belief, lack of insight. Now the description about mania. Mania typically occur as a symptom of bipolar disorder, a mood disorder characterized by both manic and depressive episode. Individuals experiencing a manic episode often have feelings of self-importance, elation, talkativeness, sociability and a desire to embark on goal-oriented activities, coupled with the less desirable characteristics of irritability, impatience, impulsiveness, hyperactivity and a decreased need for sleep. Hypomania is a term applied to a condition resembling mania. It is characterized by persistent or elevated expansive mood, hyperactivity, inflated self-esteem, etc., but of less intensity than mania. Severe mania may have psychotic features. Bipolar disorder is characterized by cycling mood change, severe highs or mania and lows, depression. Episodes may be predominantly manic and depressive with normal mood between episodes. Mood swings may follow each other very closely within days or may be separated by months to years. The high and low may vary in intensity and severity and can coexist in mixed episodes. Mania can be induced by the use of abuse of stimulant drugs such as cocaine and amphetamine. It is also the predominant features of bipolar disorder or manic depression. an effective mental illness that cause radical emotional changes and mood swings. A manic episode as an abnormally elevated mood lasting at least 1 week that is distinguished by at least 3 of the following symptoms: inflated self-esteem, decreased need for sleep, talkativeness, racing thought, distractibility, increase in goal-directed activity, or excessive involvement in pleasurable activities that have a high potential for painful consequence. If the mood of the patient is irritable and not elevated, 4 of these symptoms are required. A mood stabilizer or antimanic drugs are psychiatric medication used to treat mood disorder characterized by intense and sustained mood shift, typically bipolar disorder. The drugs commonly classed as mood stabilizer include: first, lithium. It is the classic mood stabilizer. Plasma level approximately 0.5 millimole per liter, and be aware of risk of toxicity. Next is valproic acid, available in extended release form, very irritating to the stomach, and it shows risk of neurotoxicity. The next drug is carbamazepine. The risk of neurotoxicity, CBC, should be monitored. Therapeutic drug monitoring is required, and carbamazepine is approved for bipolar disorder treatment. Next drug is lamotrigine. Usual dose of lamotrigine is 100 to 200 mg daily, which can be built up by 25 mg every 2 weeks. The patient should be monitored for sign and symptom of Stevens-Johnson syndrome. And the last drug is oxcarbazepine. It is not FDA approved for bipolar disorder. Some atypical antipsychotics like aripiprazole, risperidone, olanzapine, quetiapine, asenapine, paliperidone, ziprasidone, and lurasidone also have mood stabilizing effect. Pharmacological action and mechanism. It is suspected that it acts at various points of the neuron between the nucleus and the synapse. The mechanism of antimanic and mood stabilizing action of lithium is unknown. However, the following mechanisms have been proposed. First, lithium is known to inhibit the enzyme GSK3B. This has the effect relieving pressure on the circadian clock, which is thought to be often malfunctioning in people with bipolar disorder, and positively modulates gene transcription of brain-derived neurotropic factor like BDNF. The second mechanism, lithium ion, partly replaces body sodium ion and is nearly equally distributed inside and outside the cells and may affect ionic fluxes across brain cells. The next mechanism involved in the brain, lithium decreases the presynaptic release of noradrenaline and dopamine. The other mechanism involved lithium inhibit hydrolysis of inositol first phosphate by inositol monophosphate. We can see in figure 1. Module 5, Pharmacokinetics, Adverse Effect and Drug Toxicity. First of all, pharmacokinetics. The volume of distribution of lithium approximates that of total body water, primarily excreted in urine with insignificant excretion in feces. The renal excretion of lithium is proportional to its plasma concentration. The half-life of elimination of lithium is approximately 24 hours, decreases sodium reabsorption by the renal tubules, which could lead to sodium depletion. Adverse effect: polyuria, nephrogenic diabetes insipidus, excessive urine production due to lithium induced decreased in the sensitivity of renal collecting duct to ADH. Next is polydipsia, diarrhea, nausea, weight gain, thyroid enlargement, tremor, mild ataxia, drowsiness, muscular weakness, leukocytosis, and nephrotoxicity. Toxicity. Lithium toxicity is closely related to serum lithium level and can occur at doses close to therapeutic level or very narrow therapeutic index, requiring frequent tests to monitor lithium through plasma level. Early symptom of lithium toxicity can usually be treated by reduction or cessation of doses of the drug and resumption of the treatment at a lower dose after 24 to 48 hours. Now the summary of the lecture. I have concluded that a common characteristic of first generation antidepressant is that they appear to activate monoaminergic transmission. The acute mechanism of action of most of these drugs, which are referred to as second generation antidepressant, appear to be similar to that proposed for first generation compounds. That is, the majority of second generation antidepressants are relatively potent inhibitor of monoamines reuptake and in some cases facilitates the release of these neurotransmitters. The major differences between first and second generation drugs relate to the selectivity of their neurochemical action and to side effect potential. With all this information, here we come to the end of today's lecture. Do keep in mind what we have discussed today, that is time for your self-study. If you want to learn more for enhancing your knowledge, you may log on to our website, that is www.cec.nic.in for MCQ, quiz and LORs. Till then, keep studying and goodbye. Thank you.